You are especially closely connected to the band, aren't you?
Well, if you think, I had the first play of their debut song, and they came in on the breakfast show on Radio 1, and that was the 10th of August. Someone reminded me on Twitter, I didn't remember that off the top of my head. That was What Makes You Beautiful, and that was last year. And if you think it's happened so quickly, and the American thing, it's not just unusual, it's actually, as you were saying before, it's unprecedented.
So I mean, you know, I like their music and all the rest of it, but what makes them so special, particularly in America, for example?
I think America is obviously really tough to crack, and they are exhausted. They've been on a huge signing tour all over America. They've been doing all the radio stations, and you have to remember, obviously, it's a lot bigger country, so that's a much tougher nut to crack. However, what bands haven't had in the past is the platform of social media, and the Twitter and the Facebook following for them all over the world is huge. So therefore you've already got a fan base. You don't have to kind of start from absolute zero like a lot of bands had to back then. Even people like NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, you know, social media wasn't around then, so you literally had to build it up.
And is that it is like sort of building and riding on a wave of excitement, isn't it?
Yes,
really?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously you said before the Beatles didn't manage it, but there has been a Brit invasion in America generally over the last couple of years, mostly with female artists like Amy Winehouse, of course Adele. But it's quite good to see some boys coming in and you know, some male talent as well.
And is it because I mean, you know, they look great, don't they? They've got great songs. You see this sort of Justin Bieber phenomenon, don't you? I mean, is it because they're sort of into that, or how? Is it because of him, or is it in spite of him?
I think that whole thing kind of started it off in the way that he put his music on YouTube, and then it all grew from there. But what the US has been missing for a long time is a great boy band, and that's what the One Direction are, and also the Wanted, who are doing huge business in America as well. We got mobbed at LAX yesterday.
At the risk of offending those boys' mums who are watching, boy bands do come and go. This is happening very quickly for them. The next question is surely about how long they can sustain that success for.
Well, I was asking the fans on my Twitter last night what they think about the US success, and a lot of them were saying, well, it's not fair. They've had many more signings and many more appearances in America than they've ever done here. But America is a lot bigger. I think what the fans are slightly worried about is that they will go to America and completely forget the UK. But you know, they're very grounded boys. I can't see that happening, and I think the fans need to just be reassured that they'll be home soon. And
they got their own TV show in the States now.
Well, I think there's a Nickelodeon programme, but then over the last couple of days, the boys themselves have been saying that isn't true.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know about that.
Tell us about, I mean, you know, the fear for the fans is that these boys don't stay together. You know them well. What are they like together?
They're great together. I mean, it's hard to now think that they were put together on a reality TV show. You just don't think about that. And I think shows like The X Factor, since The X Factor in particular, have tried to put bands together, and it's not quite worked, because this one has worked so well. You don't think about them as five boys that were put together, because they do work so well. They're friends, and, you know, I think they work great as a band.